Hey everybody, Logan here. Today, whole new brand of controller. I've never seen these before. Happened to walk into a Best Buy. Sometimes I do that looking for new controllers. You guys know how it is. How it is for me. And I saw this and I went, colors are interesting. The style is pretty solid. But what is a Livewire Microwatt? So apparently it's a 20% smaller controller, but the colors are red and blue. I don't know if it's for a kid or whatnot, but it is officially licensed by Xbox, and it comes with a 1-month Game Pass trial. Is it worth it? How about open it up, do that little unboxing that I normally do, hook it up to the Xbox and see if it's worth it. Here we go. Like I said, it's the Livewire Microwatt junior wired controller. That's why I said I thought it was for kids, because junior usually means, a kid. So Surge looks like the brand. Surge Livewire Microwatt. Never heard of them before, but hey, 20% smaller, dual rumble motors, controllable LEDs. Not sure where the LEDs are. Maybe those are the lights? I don't know. But it does come with 1 month of Game Pass Ultimate as well, which is good. But if it's anything like the other controllers, you can't already have a subscription. It's for new subscribers or people who've let their subscription lapse. What I'll do is after I open and do everything, I'll let you know, see if that's still the case. So if you look at the back, you have a 10-foot cable, which it seems like it's been standard with a lot of controllers lately to give a 10-foot cable, which is really cool. So yes, those are the LEDs if you look at it this way. I didn't really notice that when I picked it up. I didn't know it actually had LEDs, so that's pretty cool. Typical share button, 20% smaller, dual rumble motors, 3.5 millimeter. Okay, so it's your standard controller fare. So it doesn't say anything. So it is controllable. Yeah, like I said, it is controllable LEDs, but I don't see any extra buttons for it. And I don't see anything about an app. And I don't see any extra buttons. We'll see when we open it up. How about that? All right, so the brand is Surge. Never heard of them, but they have to be pretty decent if it's licensed by Xbox, right? Right? Okay. All right, so we actually have red, blue, and purple on this controller. There we go. Okay, so there's a Game Pass Ultimate. It's different than the ones. It's actually a card. So it has a code on it. So I'll try it and then I will let you guys know. But that's just paperwork about the company. Surge Livewire. Precautions and maintenance. Pretty standard. Light mode. To cycle through the different lighting options, press the LED light button located on the bottom of the controller. Full glow, light bar glow, no glow. Okay, so it's just a button over and over. All right, pretty simple. Sounds like it. That's a cable. It's braided. That is nice. That's actually really nice. It's in here pretty good. It's in here pretty good. There we go. Huh. Not a bad feel. A little small, but it is 20% smaller. No clickiness. Those are going to be your standard third-party button fare. It has an interesting texture here. Don't know if you guys, how well you can see it. But it's not annoying. It's not annoying. So as you can see, this is where the lights would go. We're going to take a look at that in just a moment. Your shoulder buttons, your D-pad, and your face buttons are all purple. Well, the menu and the share and whatnot. Otherwise, your face buttons are the color of the Xbox buttons. The sticks are actually pretty nice. I like the grip is a more sturdy rubber. It doesn't feel cheap. And they both have nice textures on them. It's not bothersome. So if you look at the top, it says the branding Surge. Only these are purple. This is all red. One thing I like about the triggers, they have a noise dampening. So it's nowhere near as loud as some of the others that I've tested that are really clacky. Lightly, but not bad. And that's going to be your light button. So that's pretty much it. You got 2 screws there. Pretty simple. I like the color setup. It feels nice in the hand. It's not bad. For someone with a larger hand like myself, don't use it like this. You're going to end up relaxing your finger all the way across and then just sliding to the triggers. But that's what most people do, so it's a little further. Your fingers may touch depending on how far you stretch over, but most people I know don't. Sticks feel fine. D-pad. D-pad's nice. It's very quiet. And that is my thing. The D-pad's got to be very quiet. Really nice. Okay. First impressions right out of the box. I think it's pretty nice. Feels quality. It actually feels quality. And the Xbox button. That's the only one that's really clacky. These buttons are clacky, but it's not ones that you would constantly press over and over. I think that's okay. These are a bit quieter. Still a little noisy, but that's okay. The D-pad, that's what really gets me. All right, enough about first impressions. I think it's just pretty solid. First impressions alone, I'm going to give it an 8. I actually like it. I think everything about this right out of the box is nice. Nothing about it feels bad. It's small. That's the whole point. Little loud on the buttons. That's about it. Everything else feels nice, and I love the braided cable. So yeah, definitely an 8. It's those and those. That actually doesn't feel the best, and I think that's the only reason I would give it an 8 out of the box. But the fact that it has the lights might even make that up a little better. All right, with all that out of the way, let's plug it in and find out. Okay, so here we go. Now, I'm testing it in my office because it gives you a better angle of everything along with the gameplay. So as you can see, that's going to be the standard light setup for pretty much the controller when you just plug it in. Got the button down here. I don't know how well you can see that, but pressing it once, it lights that up, and it has light within the D-pad. Let me turn off my light to give you a little better look. You guys can see the light inside. Sorry, I said D-pad in the joysticks. You press it again, it turns it off, leaves just the outside on. Press it again, turns it all off. It's very simple, nothing fancy, just a red light. So yeah, it is controllable, but in the basic sense of controllable. So now we're gonna test out the game, see the most important part. The lights aren't the most important part. That is not. The game is. Okay, so we're testing it with what else? Exoprimal. I really like Exoprimal, and it's a third-person shooter, and it uses every button. So far, so good. So every button, very responsive. Vibration is nice. And I put on a headset on purpose just to see how well it connects, if it has any issues with the headset. Nothing. Nothing whatsoever. Sometimes you get some feedback, some weird delay, some weird noises sometimes when you're using a wired controller and a headset. None with this. Sounds great. This is my standard headset. This is one you guys see if you ever watch me do videos. Sometimes I wear the headset, sometimes I don't. Whenever I'm on podcasts, these are my go-to headset. Sounds great. No delay, no noises, no nothing. The rumble's light. It's not a heavy rumble. So, guns like this, especially in this game, depending on the controller you're using, it's a shotgun in this mode, and it's a pretty heavy feedback. Not in this one. No rumble on that one. That would normally be very light rumble. Okay. So, with that being said, it doesn't have the rumble in the triggers. Without that, this gun is no feedback. So that's going to be one thing. There's only rumble in the grips, not in the triggers. So if you're playing a game that has the rumble in the triggers, you're not going to feel anything. It's only going to have the rumble that you're getting in the grips. So that's one thing there. Interesting. Dummy default, but there's no dummies in here. Alright, let's see how it feels when I'm controlling a dino. Let's do Carnotaurus or T-Rex. What do you guys say out there? T-Rex, of course. Controls feel fantastic at this point. Rumble is nice. There, it's got a strong rumble. I'm going to say this. If this is meant for a younger audience, a stronger rumble's probably not the best way to go. But that's a personal preference, depending on who you are. Feels great. Everything's responsive. Can't complain. So let's go back to... Boop. Yeah, even the stick presses. Yeah, everything feels great. So, with that being said, besides the simplistic lighting and the lack of rumble in the triggers, I'm still going to give it an 8. I think if it had those two, this would be a fantastic wired controller. And what really keeps it at an 8 for me, instead of dropping it because of the lack of rumble in the triggers, is no feedback in the headset with a wired controller. I've had that issue with PDP, more often with PDP than I have with PowerA, but I've had them with both. I've had them with a Hori. Was that a Hori? I can't remember. But I had another third-party one, and what was that? That's really going to bother me now. I'm going to have to look that up. Hori was on the Switch, and PowerA, PDP. Oh, Hyperkin. It was the Hyperkin. If you had the Hyperkin Duke, the 20th anniversary, it gave serious feedback. So I've never used it with that. So that was the other one. But this, no audio feedback, which is a big, big plus. Now, I haven't said it until the end of the video. This is a $39.99 controller. So some people might go $40 is a bit much. But $40 is right around the price of most PDP or PowerA controllers in this same category. Yes, it is a bit smaller, but you do have lights, not fully customizable, but you have the RGB, which usually tends to make the controller a little more pricey. But the big thing is no audio feedback, and the controller feels fantastic every other way. Hopefully, if you guys decide to pick this up, you don't have any issues as well. I think it's a good controller. I would definitely recommend it. Like I said, this would be an 8. Amongst wired controllers, it's a really good one. I see why Microsoft decided to license it. So I think that's great. If you guys have any questions, remember, drop it in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video. Remember to turn that bell on for notifications so you know whenever I put out any new content, as well as new episodes of Ready to Start podcast, which is every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Thank you guys so much. Like we always say, be legendary. Thanks again.